It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. It seems I've been missing from the scene, but I'm always coming right back. In the city, just a couple niggas with me, cause I know I gotta watch my back. And I'ma be the realest when the dog falls out. And I'ma still be standing when the sky fall out. They say it's gang gang till it's time to roll out. But when them things bang, where them niggas at now? Real nigga for life. They thought I disconnected from my essence, huh? Rocking shades, but never blocking my blessings, Come from a place where it's dreary like fatal fury. The hardest fight that you face is a jury. We never worried, nigga. Ain't seen a marriage providers coming, we grown for it. Gun smoking, new pause. Death and stuff in new force. True gold, blue tour, shooting at your coupe door. Niggas catch a body, then rap about it on TuneCore. That's why I'm distant in my DMs. Rappers trying to be friends, but I don't think to me sin. I've been on some business, building LinkedIn. Signature like in stores. Won't even touch your fucking track without an invoice. Develop habits to elevate in my brackets. I notice most of my peers to get comfortable being stagnant over 10 years. Trying to plant my feet in the ground, but not a taste of victory is about as sweet as it sound. Yeah. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this particular video, we're going to be getting into a couple of things here, all right? Off the top, we're going to be getting into Drake inserting himself into the issue between Gillie the Kid and former NFL player Johnny Manziel. If y'all know, we talked about Johnny Manziel before earlier in the year because Drake had a song called Draft Day, which was a tribute to Johnny Manziel. And there were some questions about who wrote what, who did what, all that stuff. We're not going to get into that and rehash none of that. Just drawing the parallel for connection and for relationship because Johnny Manziel and Drake, at one point they were friends. I honestly haven't heard Drake or Johnny Manziel mention each other in recent years. It's been a very long time, like a decade. But apparently Drake decided to show some solidarity by, at his last show, wearing a Johnny Manziel, he wore a shirt with some words for Johnny Manziel on the back. Let me go ahead and just pull that up for context. So here we have Drake with his shirt that says, "We'll go to hell about Johnny Manziel," all right? Basically letting it be known I'm supporting him and whatever he got going on. I'm fucking with Johnny, you know what I'm saying? So, again, this is coming right after Gillie the Kid and Johnny Manziel had an exchange of words on social media. Now, interestingly enough, the issue between Johnny Manziel and Gillie didn't even involve Johnny Manziel to begin with. So everybody's inserting themselves into this shit. Everybody taking a page out of Nicki Minaj's book. Okay? So the issue was originally between Gillie the Kid and Cam Newton, another former NFL player who had a much better career. And they were exchanging words via social media posts, podcast clips, etc., right? Now, this isn't a sports channel, so I'm not trying to go deep into the weeds of all of this, but I want to give y'all as much context as possible to understand the root of the issue before we get Drake, because Drake really ain't all that involved, but he, again, threw himself into it. So, without going into like extreme detail, Gillie and Cam Newton had a dispute based on Jalen Hurts, who, of course, is, star quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, NFL champs, right? Gillie's from Philly. He supports the Eagles. He's become like a mascot for them, wearing that big ass hat, looking crazy, whatever, right? So basically there became a comparison between elite, top of his performance, Cam Newton, and Jalen Hurts, right? And I believe Gillie was basically saying, Cam Newton ain't never been Jalen Hurts or whatever. Cam Newton responded, kind of made some jokes about him, blah, blah, blah. Then Gillie makes this video, right? So this is what Gillie had to say to Cam Newton. We're going to get into Cam's response because all of this leads into Johnny Manziel jumping in and then Drake. I gotta go through the chronology of this situation.
Hey, good day, Cam Newton. I seen you came at me because I said Jalen Hurts did what you couldn't do. That was win a Super Bowl. So you want to get all in your feelings. Man, shut your tight jean wearing ass up, man. Nigga, you had on a jersey with a bow tie, you corny ass nigga. Get out of here, nigga. You will never be able to fuck with Jalen Hurts, nigga. You super goofy, corny ass nigga. Get out of here, nigga. What you do? You won MVP, won a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl MVP. And you hating on him. Cause he did what you couldn't do, nigga. Win a Super Bowl. And he been to 2 of them. So when you hating on him, nigga, just know you wasn't better than him, nigga. You talk about, can you name one of my albums, nigga? You ain't gotta be able to name one of my albums, nigga. Fuck wrong with you. You in my space. You ain't bigger than me in this space, nigga. You a low-ass boy in this space, nigga.
That's crazy.
You low-ass boy. I could come sign you, nigga. You low-ass boy. What you talking about? You, that nigga don't ever hate on Jill.
So that's crazy. That's fucking... What? How could you sign Cam Newton when Cam Newton made how many multiple hundreds and how many didn't Cam make hundreds of millions of dollars in the NFL? Now I know Gillie and Wallow for $1 million worth of games signed a nice hefty deal with Barstool and all that shit, right? That's nice. But Cam Ben did that in the NFL, playing in a league that you spectate about. Playing in a league that you run on the sidelines and dance and wear a motherfucking helmet hat for. He actually played and excelled in that league. Like some shit, sometimes niggas just gotta chill the fuck out. You know what I mean? It's cool to commentate. It's cool to give analysis. It's cool to speak on what's going on. But once motherfuckers really like put it in perspective, like, all right, nigga, what can you really offer in this space? You gonna have to pipe down, Gillie. And if we were to compare, it don't look good. If we compared what Cam did in his career to what you've done in yours, it don't match up. So that's kind of crazy. And to be like, I can sign you, you a little ass boy in this space. Cam just started podcasting. His podcast is popping. He's new because you've been around. But that don't mean that you can sign him. You can't sign nobody. You got signed. What the fuck?
Jalen Hurts, nigga. I know it hurts your fucking feelings that you wasn't Jalen, nigga. You non-Super Bowl having ass nigga. And let's be for real. Let's be for real. You out at clout chasing, man. You interviewed a nigga on your platform who ain't nobody. And he got on there and talked about Deion Sanders, Beyonce, Jay-Z, a bunch of... Come on, man. You a Pro Bowler, man. You made millions of dollars, man. That's the type of content you chasing, man. Get your goofy ass out of here, Cam. Super goofy ass nigga. Tight jeans, jersey with a bow tie wearing ass nigga. Fuck you thought. You called the right one out, you super goofy ass nigga. Right.
Alright. So that's Gillie with his response to Cam Newton. We're going to play Cam Newton's response to Gillie. We're going to get to Gillie's last response to Cam, and then we're going to get to Johnny Manziel, which is where everything takes shape as current, right? So from there, here's what Cam had to say in response.
Cam Newton. Jalen Hurts did what you couldn't do. That was win a Super Bowl.
There will not be no playing with my name, with my career. This is all entertainment here.
Man, shut your tight jean wearing ass up, man. You had on a jersey with a bow tie, you corny ass nigga. You will never be able to fuck with Jalen Hurts, nigga. You super goofy, corny ass nigga.
I know why you in your feelings, Gillie. Was it the album comment? Can you name me one Gillie the Kid album? Damn. Did you know his album was Philadelphia?
That kind of struck a nerve.
Where I'm from, Gillie, we stab and we twist. Wise words was told to me, they say, when you go low, I go to hell. So let's bring up your actual facts and your actual stats. When I'm looking at your rap career, Gillie did not chart any solo singles on the Billboard Hot 100. Philadelphia didn't do no numbers? Dang. Former member of Major Figures, bass rap group late 90s and early 2000s. You ain't never been great at nothing. The only great thing that Gillie does, he's a great mascot. Big hat, dancing around, yeah, getting them going. Mascot, very questionable career. We can't relate on a lot of things, Gillie. And if it wasn't for Wallow, all credibility on $1 million worth of game would be really at question. Because he has a wisdom about him. Wallow, that is. I respect it, and I also respect Gillie. But, respectfully, brother, we cannot relate. While you're dancing on the sideline, I was in the game. Please understand, when I said your name, most people didn't know who you were. Dang. They said, who, Gillie? Who is that? Man, you know the dude that be walking around with the big old hat? Oh, that dude. Man, don't take him serious. That's the narrative about you, guy. You can't beat me in nothing. And I mean nothing. That's basketball, that's football, that's baseball, that's rock, paper, scissors, that's chess, that's checkers, that's tennis, that's golf. All I'm asking for is respect. But just be mindful how you use and you talk about me. But I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna subscribe to $1 million worth of game. I will be looking for your repeated response, and this is my challenge to you. Try to refrain from using the N-word in every sentence. Jeez. Use your nouns and your verbs and adjectives, brother. Not just every word being a curse word.
Corny ass nigga.
God damn. He ethaned your ass, Gillie. Damn. Now, I'm actually somebody who listened to Gillie the Kid. Probably one of the only people in the world. You know what I mean? And Gillie dope. Gillie could rap. Gillie could still go if he wanted to. I don't know why. You know, these guys that rap, that get these big platforms, you putting yourself in the biggest branding, marketing, and promotion position that you've ever been in. You might as well put some music out to go in tandem with what it is that you're doing. It can only enhance it. But if it ain't, you know, if you don't got the bug no more, it's cool. Nonetheless, I used to listen to Gillie, you know what I mean? So I ain't gonna say sensitive, but I got a soft spot for niggas that, you know, they talk about Joe Budden the same way. Your music stuck. Your music was trash. Your music didn't do nothing. They say the same thing to Gillie. People try to do it with Nori too. You know what I'm saying? Which I disagree with. People do it with Fat Joe. I disagree with. These are guys that are pillars in hip hop that played their role. You know what I'm saying? And they should be respected for what it is that they contributed, because they did have fan bases, even if they weren't the biggest, right? I can never take nothing away from nobody's fan base, because I didn't even achieve what these niggas did, right? With my music. I found other ways to be successful with music, and I've brought my music perspective to YouTube and built an audience, but you can't take away from these guys. You know? So I do understand that part of it. But Gillie, you just got your ass fried. Pan-fried, pan-seared, deep-fried, sauteed, the whole nine. Because you can't actually bring anything to the conversation against a nigga who actually went out between them lines and did what the fuck he did and led a team to the Super Bowl. But anyway, so that was that. So fast forward to Gillie's birthday party. Just was a couple days ago. And he was having a good time, and he decided to show off his hardware, because I guess I don't know if he got a replica of the Super Bowl trophy or if they actually delivered one to him for being the biggest fan. But here is Gillie.
Cam ain't never had one of these. I ain't going back and forth with you, nigga. Thank you, Jalen. Appreciate you, Jalen. Love you, Nick. Love you, Nick. Appreciate you, Jalen. Cam Newton never had one of these. I said Cam Newton never got one of these. Thank you, Jalen. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Dom. I'm not going back and forth on line. Jalen do a lot of things wrong, but he do a...
All right, so that's Gillie. And this is what actually struck Johnny Manziel to jump in. So he says, yo, Gillie the Kid, you may be the biggest fucking loser on the planet. Remember, Johnny had nothing to do with none of this. He just been seeing it online and couldn't take it no more. You may be the biggest fucking loser on the planet. Talking like you fucking done anything on a football field. If I see you, just know I'm going to slap the fuck out of you. Trust. Now, I was with Johnny on the first half. He had us in the first half. City Boys was up. But when you say, if I see you, just know I'm going to slap the fuck out of you, Johnny Manziel, I'm sorry. I don't know where you think Gillie from, and I'm not saying Gillie a gangster. I'm just saying Gillie has a past of street activity. Okay? I don't know if Gillie himself gonna get you back. But I know if you happen to slap Gillie, you might not walk out the place. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go too much further. You might be Billy Badass for all I know. You might want to get with Joey. But I ain't with that. You took it from online back and forth banter to a physical threat. I don't understand. Especially when you had nothing to do with the situation. Coming in as a privileged white boy, I don't like that shit. Jumping in. What the fuck? But Gillie the Kid, not one to take that sitting down. He responded as well. And Johnny had some other things to say along the way. I don't know if you could see it here, but Johnny says, I love $1 million worth of game, but that's the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life, which I don't disagree with him there. He says, can't wait for this response. Just set up the Rough and Rowdy and let's call it a day. The Rough and Rowdy, is that a nickname for a fight? Is that I don't know. I ain't that country to know what a Rough and Rowdy is. Let me know. Then he says, take Jalen's dick out of your mouth for a couple minutes. Pretty sure he's already got a chick. At Gillie the Kid. Okay? So from there, Gillie issues his response to Johnny Manziel.
Come on, Johnny. Out of all the motherfuckers you can fuck with, Johnny, what the fuck would make you stop at me, man? Huh? What would make you stop at that bus stop and fuck with me, Johnny? I know what it was. I know exactly what it was. Ain't no secret. You had 8 ball of that shit, Johnny. I figured by now that shit would have wore off, right? Johnny, what the fuck would make you get up and just say, you gonna slap me? Out of all the motherfuckers on planet Earth, Johnny, you gonna slap me? Had to be this shit right here, Johnny. Because it ain't 1917 no more, Johnny. This is 2025. Niggas fight back, Johnny. The fuck make you think you just gonna slap a nigga and then what you just gonna do? You just gonna walk off about your business, Johnny. And just ain't nothing gonna happen, Johnny. No, we gonna have to put on a betting app, Johnny, to over and under for how many fucking days you gonna lay in the hospital. And I'm taking 13 and a half days. I'm taking the fucking over, Johnny. Now, let me tell you something, Johnny. I need you to check in the AA, Alcohol Anonymous, and I need you to check the fuck out of AAB, African American Business, Johnny. This shit ain't had nothing to do with you. Sit your dumb ass down somewhere. You hear me? Now, Cam said what he said about Jalen. I told Cam he did something you couldn't do in a Super Bowl. And then Cam, big, goofy, extra sensitive ass, started talking personal shit. So you and Cam could both sit y'all super goofy asses down some fucking where. Fucking Cocaine Johnny and Big fucking Sensitive. You big sassy ass nigga. Sit your dumb ass down somewhere, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you got going on. But I told you niggas, neither one of y'all could fuck with Jalen. And then you talk about, I'm the biggest loser. You ain't did nothing on the football field. Neither did you, Johnny. You was in a fucking league for 2 weeks. They sent you to the fucking Australian Kangaroos. The fuck you. I think you did 2 years with the Lithuanian Bombers or some shit. Fuck is you talking about? You ain't did shit either. Get the fuck out of here, Johnny. Right.
All right. Now, for those, I don't know why this nigga look like the Joker, but for those that don't know, Johnny had a drug problem. Okay? Substance abuse problem. And it didn't work out so well for him in the NFL. He didn't have the right people around him. They were actually afraid of the impact that his entourage, including Drake and others, the impact that they would have on him coming into the NFL, because they felt like he was in over his head. He was a good prospect, but they didn't feel like he had the initiative or the drive or the support system to really take it to the next level in the league. And the people that ended up saying those things, they ended up being validated in their assessment of Johnny Manziel, right? So that's why he got the powder all over his face and shit. He's mocking his drug problem. Some people may say it's tasteless. I say, hey man, when you come outside and you start playing low, and you jump in somebody else's shit. We just was talking about this shit, man. When you jump in somebody else's shit and they say, okay, you want some of this too? You can't control that. It is what it is. Now, because of this, we now circle back to Drake with his shirt, right? Once again, Drake will go to hell about Johnny Manziel. And again, I haven't seen them in the same room. I haven't seen them mention each other in a very long time. Was not aware that they were still friends or still cool or in communication in any sort of way. But after Gillie the Kid made his remarks towards Johnny, this is what he wore on stage. Okay? Now, ironically, it was just last year when Gillie the Kid was going up for Drake in the battle against Kendrick Lamar. He said Drake won. He actually was one of the few people on the planet that liked the Heart Part 6, or the Shark Part 6, as I've lately been calling it. Funny how that works out. You had all these guys that were going up for him saying he won, he did this, he did that. And now, y'all were doing that to be in the good graces. You still ended up not being in the good graces. Let me go ahead and pull up the video of Gillie last year.
It's over with. Light-skinned niggas won. They took that shit, man. That shit over with, man. That shit is over with. I ain't gonna lie. Kendrick came back. And then he came back again. I said, oh, he barbecued, baked, honey dipped, glazed, Old Bay seasoned the light-skinned niggas. It didn't trade. It's over. The light-skinned niggas won, man. That shit over. It's over. It's over. Light-skinned niggas won. Don't let these light-skinned niggas do anything. Any fucking thing out here. Shit over with, man.
So that was Gillie hanging off the nuts of Drake last year. A year later, now they're at odds. Drake is saying we standing 10 toes down for Johnny Manziel. We'll go to hell for Johnny Manziel. Fuck what everybody else saying. And we ain't even seen Drake with Johnny Manziel in a decade. So all that pandering you was doing, all that fluffing you was doing in the background, and people like you, Cam and Mace, where did he get you? On the op list too. Stupid motherfuckers. Oh, man. Now, Gillie ain't the only stupid motherfucker out here right about now. Because we now have gotten the re-emergence of fucking JoeCatt. Okay? We just had Miss, whatever the fuck her name was, Monet Merchant. She was like the second coming of JoeCatt. But he decided to resurrect himself from the ashes, and he has now re-entered himself into the Drake UMG docket, trying to file an amicus brief all over again. Stupid motherfucker, or as APSA called him, biscuit head motherfucker. This clown done put in a 12-page entry talking about verified motion for reconsideration, supplementation, and leave to file amicus curiae brief. Joe motherfucking Cat. Oh my goodness. Comes now Joseph Anthony Reyna appearing pro se and by right under 28 USC 1654, a federally documented whistleblower, IRS whistleblower as he calls himself. He's a qualified person with a disability, as if that's supposed to matter. A Pell Grant recipient, what the fuck? A trademark holder, huh? Executive Director of Dreams Over Dollars, a federally registered 501c3 nonprofit. Who gives a damn? A public interest cultural creator with documented royalty suppression. Here the fuck we go again. Metadata fraud and AI disambiguation harm. Respectfully requesting this court to reconsider its silence or denial of Movement's April 2nd, 2025 amicus curiae brief. They didn't silence you, nigga. They said, get the fuck out of here. Grant leave to supplement with exhibits A through F and appendices. Take judicial notice of public record facts under FRE 201B2 and D. Acknowledge Movement's standing as amicus curiae under Neonatology Associates. What? Allow oral argument under FRCP 78B if opposed or denied. This boy just don't know when to get the hell on. Procedural and factual context. On June 19, 2025, Movement issued a legal preservation notice to plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham regarding metadata-based copyright concealment and whistleblower submitted evidence. On July 5th, plaintiff posted multiple firearm-related videos after receiving this notice, potentially violating 18 USC. Oh my fucking goodness. He's a clown, people. This man said he reached out to Drake. He reached out to Drake regarding metadata-based copyright concealment and whistleblower submitted evidence. This man is now referring to, what is that? What did I miss? With the motherfucking video with all the guns? He trying to make it seem like Drake was talking to him. I probably don't even need to speak about this motherfucker because you clearly crazy as hell, boy. You think Drake posted that shit to you? He says B, constructive silence by Sidley Austin LLP. On December 4th, 2024, Movement contacted Sidley Austin seeking pro bono representation in a systemic industry case naming Spotify, UMG, and plaintiff. No reply was received given Sidley's historical representation of aligned industry actors. This strategic silence constitutes gatekeeping of legal remedy. They don't got to work with you, nigga. Are you? Yeah, you are. C. Wilkie Farr's conflicted history. Movement submits that plaintiff's counsel Michael J. Gottlieb has previous representation ties to Snoop Dogg and Create Music Group, both associated with metadata and disambiguation laundering. This may constitute a Rule 1.9a conflict and warrants judicial scrutiny for partiality. Huh? Public whistleblower white paper. Before the flood. On April 19, 2025, Movement published and submitted to regulators a forensic white paper titled Before the Flood. It describes metadata suppression, algorithmic throttling, and constructive trust claims now echoed in this litigation. So this must be the whole thing that he was alluding to, but was taking too long And when he had the attention, he wasn't dropping it. But they already said, get the fuck out of here. E, agency filings and whistleblower confirmation. Movements, disclosures to the IRS, FinCEN, FTC, and SEC include royalty rerouting, AI bias, escheatment, and nonprofit billing fraud. These filings are legally protected under 5 U.S.C. 2302b8 and judicially relevant, he says. Legal basis for relief. I really don't even want to read through all this shit. But he's citing all of these, what he believes to be legal precedents as to why he should be allowed, right? FRCP 60B2 and 3, newly discovered evidence and misconduct justify record reconsideration. Local Rule 6.3, SDNY, permits rebriefing when new facts or issues arise. FRE 201 B2 and D, mandates judicial notice of undisputed public records. 88 Title 2, 42 USC 12132, ensures access for qualified individuals with disabilities. You can't just say because I'm disabled, y'all should let me in. That's not how laws work. You shouldn't be discriminated against for your disability. Lanham Act 43A, trademark and identity dilution due to false attribution. DMCA 1202B, metadata removal and attribution falsification by platforms. Higher Ed Act 1070A. Don't nobody give a damn about your Pell Grant. Congratulations, though. Canon 2, Code of Judicial Conduct. Court must avoid even appearance of impropriety in suppressing whistleblower evidence. Quasi-sovereign standing. 501c3 nonprofit acts on behalf of vulnerable creator class. New York civil rights law protects civil access. You got a request for relief? What? Movement respectfully requests this court to clarify whether the April 2nd, 2025 brief was denied, ignored, or procedurally omitted. You were denied, boy. It was read across YouTube. 2, accept supplemental exhibits, blase. And he wants a formal opposition or denial. Okay? Bro, sit your ass down somewhere. JoeCatt done crawled out the motherfucking trash can and back into the docket, man. Ain't that about a bitch? We'll see what happens. Let me check to see if the judge said anything or if there's any other updates. There actually is. Non-related to JoeCatt. Crazy motherfucker. Jeanette Vargas is, however, allowing Drake and his team to issue a motion to serve Kojo Asamoah once more. Okay? Because they were unsuccessful in finding him. They tried to go to multiple addresses on file for him, but nobody could ever track him down. So the judge is allowing them to move forth once more. On July 14, 2025, plaintiff filed a letter motion for leave to serve a Rule 45 subpoena on Kojo Mini Asamoah, third party to this litigation, through alternative means pursuant to federal rules of civil procedure 4E12 and 45. ECF number blase. For the reasons stated below, the motion is granted. Plaintiff's amended complaint alleges that defendant UMG Recordings, Inc. published and promoted defamatory material concerning plaintiff, which includes a defamatory recording. Plaintiff further avers that defendant engaged in deceptive acts and practices by covertly financially incentivizing third parties to play, stream, and promote the defamatory material. Plaintiff identifies Mr. Asamoah as a relevant witness for the claim of deceptive business practices and has listed him in plaintiff's initial disclosures. Plaintiff alleges that Mr. Asamoah possesses knowledge relating to UMG's use of covert tactics to promote the defamatory material, including because plaintiff believes that Mr. Asamoah was involved in directing payments and or financial incentives from UMG to third parties involved in online botting for the purpose of artificially inflating the streaming numbers of the recording. Plaintiff has described the efforts undertaken by counsel to serve Mr. Asamoah at numerous locations over the course of several weeks. To assist with service attempts, plaintiff engaged a process server and a private investigative firm, and these efforts resulted in considerable cost for plaintiff. The process server's affidavit states that the agent attempted 11 times to serve Mr. Asamoah at various addresses on different dates and at various times of the day. The affidavit of the managing director and chief security officer of plaintiff's hired private investigative firm describes the extensive efforts taken to research and confirm the numerous addresses and locations of Mr. Asamoah, his family members, and his business ventures. Despite several days of surveillance, the investigative firm was unable to personally identify Mr. Asamoah, and plaintiff incurred over $75,000 in costs in connection with the firm's work to conduct surveillance and locate Mr. Asamoah. Plaintiff now requests that he be permitted to send the subpoena both by certified mail and to affix the subpoena to the doors of the 5 physical addresses believed to be associated with Mr. Asamoah, his family, and his business. Further, plaintiff asked to send the subpoena by email to 3 email addresses connected to Mr. Asamoah and his business ventures. Plaintiff's counsel confirms that these email addresses remain operative. Okay? So for whatever reason, Kojo Asamoah has not been able to be tracked down. Okay? And basically the judge is saying, all right, we're going to let you send email and mail to his house rather than to send out a dedicated service person to hand it over because they've tried 11 times. Okay? So just giving y'all a quick update on what's going on in the UMG versus Drake docket. Not a lot to be seen, but Drake believes that this Kojo person may have been responsible for issuing payments for botting, streaming, or, you know, these various practices that he alleges UMG did to boost Not Like Us. All right. Sounds like a lot of bullshit, but they're trying to track this guy down so that he can at least answer questions pertaining to the information that they believe. And I don't think it's wrong to say that he should be tracked down. You know what I mean? Because if he's not involved, he should be able to say that. I think that's fair. But let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, so straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden, they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross somebody came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.